We are live.
Clearly.
That was interesting.
You know how sometimes they're like, are they really live?
Yeah.
This is the proof, people.
this
It's
is live.
Tuesday and
Yeah.
we're live.
How y'all doing?
I'm still trying to get my moves in. They were back there like, get out there. I'm like, I don't hear any
I know.
music.
Yeah, we didn't hear music.
Who's ready for some live girl chat?
Let's get started
Clearly.
Clearly, and live girl chat. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I want everyone to take a look at this picture right here. This was taken at the U.S.-Mexico border in Tijuana. It shows a mother and her children being fired upon with tear gas by U.S. Border Patrol agents. This situation arose after 500 migrants trying to escape poverty and violence in their country attempted to cross the border at the San Ysidro Port near San Diego in an effort to seek asylum in the United States. Border Patrol agents claim that the migrants, upon being denied entry, began to throw rocks, at which point the agents opened fire on the migrants, including women and children, with tear gas and rubber bullets. Due to the escalating tensions, Border Control agents decided to close the port of entry for several hours, an entry many use legally to school or work. So, ladies, what went through your mind when you saw these images?
Well, I mean, this is not uncommon in this country to use tear gas. We used tear gas in Ferguson. In the 60s, there's always been violent means to try to stop protests. So a lot of people, when they saw this, they were acting like, oh, this isn't America. Yes, it is. This is America. America has been doing this. A lot of y'all haven't been paying attention. That's the one thing that you know, struck me when I saw it. And also, when you look at that picture of the woman, and she has the Frozen T-shirt on, that's just irony, because Frozen is about being empowered and about freedom. And to have that image, that tells you that there is something that we need to work on in our country, okay?
That's clearly all
really
she
do.
has to wear as well.
Right.
Yeah.
There are about 500 people at the border. And, okay, and I'm going to let everybody else talk. But my thing is this. We can go to other countries and we can help them out. Help out the countries that are, for the long-term issue. Help the countries, Honduras, Guatemala. Help those countries so that those people don't have to come over here like this. But the short term is we should not be doing violent protests against people to stop them. We have people that go to school, they do social sciences, they study political science, set up some tents and have a humane process of processing the people in. We don't have to do it like this. We don't have to be violent like that. That's what I believe.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying yesterday, Lonnie, about human decency. Whichever side you lie upon this issue, just literally take a look at that picture. You see children without pants. Children searching for a better life along with their mother.
They don't even have
and yes,
shoes
Jeannie's talked about recently sometimes there's human trafficking, maybe mixed in that a little bit. But is this the answer?
Right.
Is this how we do this? My husband was actually tear gas. I don't know what kind of tear gas they used for this. I know that there are different kinds. My husband was tear gassed 6 times. My husband weighs 200 and he'll say 218, but 225 pounds. He's a 6'3", he's 6'3", so he's a very tall man. He said it brought him to his knees. Yeah. It feels like the worst strep throat you can ever think of.
What?
Yes, it feels like lemon has been squirted in your eyes, hot sauce in your nose, all at the same time.
And not to mention some forms of that tear gas have been illegalized since 1971 when they completely forbid using it in warfare. I'll say there are different forms of tear gas,
Yes.
but for an infant,
Yeah.
you're giving them sometimes permanent damage after
Yes,
they've
correct.
inhaled that because it actually...
And if they have respiratory issues,
Absolutely.
it could be fatal.
anything that's wet on your body, your tear ducts, your nasal
skin is
line, your
porous.
skin,
Yeah.
when you're sweating and you're screaming, you're panicking, you're inhaling all of it. When I see this image, I remember that refugees are actually protected by international law. It is not illegal for migrants to come here to seek asylum. And yet, this inhumane act is lack of preparation somewhere because we knew they were coming. We knew they were coming by caravans. And back in the day, when you would come to cross the border, absolutely there would be a process where you would be evaluated, you would have to stand in line, you would have to profess your case, and then you would be either told you could stay or you would leave. Obviously, there's so many that now we can't process them correctly, but something is flawed in the system
Yes,
when
gotta
we weren't
find a better
prepared,
way.
when we knew that our neighbors were coming and needed help.
There has to be a better way.
Well, there was a response from, because we want to make sure we present all sides of this debate. So let's hear what the President of the United States, Donald Trump, had to say regarding tear gas being used at the border.
First of all, the tear gas is a very minor form of the tear gas itself. It's very safe. The ones that were suffering to a certain extent were the people that were putting it out there, but it's very safe. But you really say, why is a parent running up into an area where they know the tear gas is forming and it's going to be formed and they're running up with a child?
No, that's what I have an issue with. This is the problem that I have an issue with. Clearly, no mother, no parent would ever put their child in harm's way unless the situation at home was worse. The situation that they're suffering from is obviously worse.
Yeah. Well,
they don't have pants on.
yes.
They don't have shoes on. Clearly, you put your child only in a situation like that when you're desperate and you need help, and that's what those
I'm just
people are
presenting
there
the other
for.
side. So let's hear from the Border Patrol Foundation President Ron Colburn. Here's what he had to say to Fox News.
To clarify, the type of deterrent being used is OC pepper spray. It's literally water, pepper, with a small amount of alcohol for evaporation purposes. It's natural. You could actually put it on your nachos and eat it.
Yo, these.
Okay,
I
no.
can't. I can't.
Did he say nachos?
Nachos.
Yeah, I did.
Can somebody fly in the nachos? Dude, I need to see this brother eat the nachos with the pepper spray on it, like now, like right now.
You would never do that. In New York City, we carry around pepper spray to stop people from mugging you like that. Like you said, it brings grown men to their knees. And again, these are children and babies and women that clearly are trying to run from something that is, guys, there's gang violence. Children are being kidnapped, killed, murdered. They're not putting their children in harm's way, because they just feel like it. It's a Monday morning, and I want to go see Los Angeles.
say
And that is not the case.
The thing that bothers me, just when you listen to that entirety, when President Trump says that, he asks, why are they even here? Referring to the mothers and children. Mr. President, if you were fleeing from poverty and persecution, wouldn't you like to think that the woman who gave birth to you is helping you get to safety?
Amen. He doesn't understand.
Well, it's not, like I said at top, you guys, in 2013, the Obama administration also used tear gas, not to this extent, I don't believe, but it has been used. My whole point is that we have a problem in our country
Yes.
Sure.
with the way we handle situations, and we need to work on them. We really need to
We
work
need to
on
get
them.
to the root of the problem,
And-
planning, preparation. What are we going to do? And again, let's do it in a civilized
There are too many
manner.
people that will volunteer. They could put some tents down there. You've got people that will volunteer and will help the process.
Yeah.
This is what we do in America. We have to do that, and we have to speak up. Speak up to your officials. Make sure that they understand you do not think that this is a humane way to treat anybody.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, honey.
Well, I think it's fair to say that we're all hoping for a peaceful resolution. We're praying for all the families out there. And speaking of keeping the peace, Spice Girl, our girl, Mel B, recently spilled some major tea regarding her feelings about her ex, Eddie Murphy. Mel was on Good Morning Britain to discuss her new memoir, Brutally Honest, and revealed that not only was Eddie Murphy love at first sight, but that she also felt he was the love of her life. Mel, who has a daughter with Eddie, who was asked about possibly ever getting back with him, but she respectfully said that wouldn't happen because he's currently in a loving, committed relationship. So ladies, do you think that sometimes people don't end up with the greatest love of their life? And do you think it's real low-key shady that my producers had me read this story? So I'm gonna just answer first.
Go for it.
Okay, so clearly you don't always end up with the greatest love of your life. But it took me that to find out that you already have the greatest love of your life. You just don't realize it till you find it, and that is yourself.
Amen.
Because people race so hard. All you read in magazines, and the biggest topic to talk about is finding love and swiping right, and when you're gonna find that one. Yo, you're with the one you're gonna spend the rest of your life with already. And it took me time to actually realize I always put myself behind my work, finding that right romance, being the right wife, being the right marriage, and those things aren't wrong. And I'm not saying that I have regrets. It takes you certain things to finally get who is the person in the mirror that you've neglected the whole time. So I really do thank those experiences that it took me to get there, because some people will spend the rest of their life not knowing to put themselves first and to miss out on the truest love you'll ever experience. Because once you got that down, the rest is bliss. To know what true love really feels like.
Cue Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all.
Well, that's the reason why when people ask me, why did you never want to get married? Or when I was initially, and I've told this story many times on this table before, that, you know, I decided not to get married. I wanted to pursue my love of being an entertainer because I wanted to find myself.
Which
and
is you.
I found myself, and I love myself, and I'm okay with me being who I want to be. With that
Can I
said,
ask a question? Yeah.
no, okay, go ahead.
Okay.
You gonna? Yeah.
Can you say? I'm just curious because, you know, you'll shy away from it, little shy Lonnie here. Okay.
Shy Lonnie.
I feel like, would you say that now that you have pursued that, you found success in that, you found your love, your purpose, and now that you are
Ooh, go
firm
there.
in it,
Go there. Go there.
can
That
you
can
now
happen as well.
find love?
Yes.
Now, I was going to say it, but I wanted to say it.
Okay.
Oh, well
Wait,
then,
say what?
making sure you weren't running from it.
If you find yourself and you love yourself, you know what you want in life.
Amen.
So,
And you know what you don't want in life.
so you will not, when you love yourself, you know when a love is struggle love, and you don't want struggle love. You know, you want a loyal love. You want a love that you don't mind just sitting in a car and you guys are okay together. I don't know why I'm crying, but anyway.
Because it's real.
But I think a lot of women don't. We are taught as women, you gotta find somebody. You gotta find somebody immediately. When you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, you gotta find. If you don't find somebody, you're an old maid. Nobody wants you. I can guarantee you, ladies, if you love yourself and you find out who you are, God is not going to let you down. He's going to give you whatever you want, whatever that fulfillment is. So I've been saying that, and I guess maybe I'm crying because for years I think people thought that I was being phony and false about what I wanted as a woman.
Yeah.
And I said all I've ever wanted to do was entertain people.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to see smiles on people's faces. I find an honor every day to be on a show that I can actually entertain you guys, and you give it back to me.
Oh,
Okay, enough of that.
No, it's the realest thing.
That's the key. Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
I think that's what I mean by when I say what makes a beautiful relationship is not when two half of a whole get together. It's when two wholes
That's right.
get together. It's beautiful when you truly give yourself time to love yourself, and then because you love yourself, you know your worth. You know what you deserve. And then you're freely able to love that person. And it's a beautiful dance. You loving yourself, you loving the one you love, and then the one you love loving you back. Isn't love grand?
Love is a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful.
And I love when it happens
Cheers.
organically, not forced, and we are so
Yes,
freaking happy
so
for you,
happy
Lonnie.
for you.